Ever heard of an emperor who taxed your booze, fought your neighbors, blamed you for eclipses, and executed his own heir, all before breakfast? Welcome to the reign of Han Wudi. He didn't just rule China, he reshaped it, through wars, reforms, and the occasional witch trial. This is the story of how one emperor turned the Han dynasty into a war machine, then tried to apologize for it. From the moment he took the throne at 15, Liu Che, aka Han Wudi, made one thing very clear. This wasn't going to be a chill reign. He wanted power, borders, gold, tribute, and horses with muscles like gods. To get that, he'd fight everyone. Welcome to the war era, 141 BC and counting. Most rulers spend a few years settling in. Han Wudi, he went straight to war. His target? The Xiongnu, nomadic warriors who'd been bullying Chinese farmers for generations. Every emperor before him tried bribes and marriage alliances. Han Wudi, he sent 100,000 troops into the desert and said, "Handle it." And when that didn't work, he doubled down, again and again. Over the next 30 years, he launched at least 6 major campaigns against the Xiongnu, some pushing as far as Mongolia. It was like the world's most expensive grudge match. In 119 BC, Han Wudi pulled off his biggest flex. He sent his 2 best generals, Wei Qing and Huo Kubing, north with a massive army. The result? Massive victory at the Battle of Mobei. Dozens of Xiongnu chiefs captured, thousands dead. Borders pushed north. It cost the treasury millions. But Han Wudi didn't care. He called it justice. Then he went west, for horses for Ghana, modern-day Uzbekistan. Why? Because they had legendary heavenly horses, faster, stronger, and perfect for smashing nomads. Han Wudi wanted them badly. When the Fergana king refused to sell, he sent a Chinese army 3,000 kilometers west to take them by force. Result, China got the horses. Fergana got new management. Everyone else got the message. Don't mess with Han Wudi. To finance and support these wars, Han Wudi needed allies and trade. So he sent a guy named Zhang Qian to explore the West. 13 years later, Zhang Qian came back with maps, intel, and proof that Central Asia was full of wealthy kingdoms. Han Wudi's reaction? Excellent. Let's open a road and maybe conquer a few more things along the way. And just like that, the Silk Road was born. Meanwhile, Han Wudi's war addiction wasn't limited to desserts and horses. He also invaded Korea, defeated Women Joseon, annexed Nanyue, northern Vietnam, crushed tribal kingdoms in southwest China. By the end of his reign, the Han Empire had expanded in every direction. But not everyone was cheering. Tens of thousands of farmers were conscripted into war. Many never returned. Provinces were drained of food, manpower, and silver. Refugees fled from battlefronts, and corruption soared as local officials scrambled to meet imperial demands. Sure, the empire was big, but inside, it was bleeding, quietly, and war isn't cheap. Someone had to pay for all this. Spoiler, it was everyone. Han Wudi invented a new form of government funding. If it moves, tax it. Salt, taxed. Iron, taxed. Alcohol, nationalized. Magic, also taxed. Even fortune-telling became government property. Want to read someone's future? Better have a license and pay the emperor. If Han Wudi were around today, you'd need a permit to cry. He created monopolies, price controls, new coins, and even taxed private markets. Confused citizens were like, wait, is breathing still free? In the middle of all this conquest, Han Wudi made one soft power move. He made Confucianism the official state philosophy. Forget Taoism. Legalism? Meh. Now, if you wanted a government job, you had to know your Confucian quotes. The bureaucracy was reborn as a class of scholar officials. No more warlords in office. Now it was dudes with scrolls and moral superiority. But as he aged, so did his paranoia. Want more witch trials, family drama, and an emperor unraveling? Hit that like and subscribe. Victory has a side effect: paranoia. After decades of nonstop war, Han Wudi had crushed enemies, expanded borders, and turned the Han dynasty into a superpower. But now, he saw enemies everywhere. Not in the desert, in his own palace. Whispers of sorcery, betrayal, and plots began to consume him. And like every good control freak, Han Wudi did what emperors do best. He started executing people. He believed sorcerers were hiding in the palace walls. Pretty sure the only thing hiding was common sense. It began with his wife, Empress Wei Zifu, and their son, Crown Prince Liu Ju. Rumors spread that they were using black magic, spells, curses, talismans. Han Wudi panicked. He ordered an investigation, and by investigation, we mean secret police and mass arrests. His son Liu Ju tried to fight back. A civil war broke out in the capital. Palace guards were slaughtered. In the end, Han Wudi's own son was forced to commit suicide. His wife, stripped of her title and also dead. And only after the bodies dropped did he realize the rumors were probably fake. Now fully spiraling, Han Wudi began purging officials left and right. The imperial court turned into a silent horror film. Officials walked on eggshells. Every sentence was a gamble. Even casual compliments started sounding like confessions. "Nice robe, Your Majesty." Might get you a promotion, or executed for sarcasm. No one knew. That was the vibe. Accused of treason? Death. Whispers of rebellion? Death. Accidentally looked stressed at a royal banquet? Suspicious. The capital turned into a place of fear. Ministers stopped speaking up. General morale? Gone. Even the generals who once won him glory, like Li Guangli, were either executed or died in disgrace. Han Wudi didn't just kill the mood, he executed it, literally. In his final years, Han Wudi turned to astrology and superstition. He ordered elaborate sacrifices to heaven, looking for signs that his rule was still favored, built temples, held rituals, even created a new calendar system to reset the heavens. Because when you've killed your heir and alienated your court, the stars are all you've got left. Then came the ghosts. Han Wudi started seeing omens, natural disasters, solar eclipses, plagues in the provinces. He believed these were signs from the ancestors, angry at what he'd done. And for once, he listened. The royal apology came as a shock to everyone. In 94 BC, Han Wudi issued a public confession called the Luntai Edict. In it, he admitted to overreacting, abusing power, and causing unnecessary death. He even apologized to the people, something unheard of from an emperor in ancient China. And get this, he promised to lighten punishments and stop the witch hunts. When Han Wudi died in 87 BC, he left behind a bankrupt empire, a shrunken royal family, and a massive territorial legacy that future dynasties would fight over for centuries, but also a functioning Silk Road, a Confucian civil service system, and a blueprint for centralized power that would last 2,000 years. Even after he died, Han Wudi's policies stuck around like imperial glitter, impossible to clean up. His successors tried to scale back the madness, but the tax codes, the borders, the bureaucracy, that was his footprint. China didn't just remember him. It still played by his playbook for centuries. So what do we call him? A tyrant? A visionary? A warlord with a tax obsession? Maybe all three. But one thing's for sure. Han Wudi never met a problem he didn't try to conquer. Or tax. If you made it this far, drop a comment and tell us what shocked you the most. Let's play a game. Spot the AI fails in this video. Bet you missed a few.